Good morning children, how are you all? I hope you all are staying fit and healthy. Myself, Ms. Surbhi Sharma from Shivjyoti Educational Group, Kota. So children, today we are going to start with History Chapter 5, that is Rulers and Buildings. So let's start with the chapter. So let's start with the chapter Rulers and Buildings. The topics which we are going to cover are engineering skills and construction, building temple, mosques and tanks, why were temples targeted, gardens, tombs and forts, and region and empire. So children, till now the chapters which we have studied, in those chapters what we have studied, that the kings were there, okay, they have given the property to their sons, the son inherited their father's property, all such things we have just studied in the previous chapters. But in this chapter we are going to cover the rulers and buildings, like which ruler built, what kind of what construction he did in his empire, and what kind of monuments, buildings he built when he was ruling. Okay, so rulers and buildings, from the topic itself we are getting rulers and buildings. Now see, why rulers building the monuments, why rulers were constructing different buildings. See, if we talk about different rulers, they were constructing different monuments. Okay, they were constructing different temples. Okay, they were constructing forts. Okay, so different buildings they were constructing. Now why they were constructing such different buildings? To show their power, to show their wealth. Okay, they just wanted to show the power they were having. They just wanted to show their devotion towards the god when they were constructing the temples. So this was the only reason they were constructing, different rulers were constructing different buildings. Okay, now from 8th to 13th century, okay, from 8th to, you can, if you want, you can write down these things and you can make the flow chart also, which I am going to make on the board. Okay, from 8th to 13th century, okay, from 8th to 13th century, what happened? See, the rulers say na, they built two kind of structures. One was for private use and second one was for the public. Okay, first they built for their private use and second one was for the public. So for the private use they were making the forts, palaces, okay, and big mansions. Okay, they were making big buildings, luxurious buildings for their own purposes, for their own personal use. And when we talk about the public, they were making the parks, temples, okay, such kind of things they were making for the public welfare. Okay, so from 8th to 18th century, 8th to 13th century, rulers were busy in making such kind of buildings. One was for the private use and the second one for the public use. Okay, so this was small description about the chapter, why rulers were building, what kind of buildings they were constructing, and why they were constructing those buildings. Okay, so starting with the first topic, okay, starting with the first topic, that is engineering skills and construction. Okay, engineering skills and construction. Under this topic, engineering skills and construction, we will be covering two types of construction. Okay, two types of construction was there. First one was Trabete or corbelled. Okay, this was the kind of structure, kind of the name of the structure which the kings were, which the rulers were building. And second one was the arcuate. Okay, first one was the Trabete or corbelled structure and second one was the arcuate structure. Now in Trabete or corbelled structure, a horizontal beam was placed on vertical columns. Okay, if you want you can write it down. I am again dictating. Okay, a horizontal beam was placed on vertical columns. Okay, like this we are talking about Trapeze or corbelled, both are the same structure. So what happened was, like such kind of structures were there. Okay, upon these vertical they start keeping such kind of wooden slabs. Okay, wooden or stone slabs. Okay, such kind of buildings they were making. Okay, what they were doing, such rectangular slabs they were putting on these pillars. Okay, to give the shape like this. Okay, इस type की shape देने के लिए they start making such kind of buildings. Okay, and if we talk about arcuate, see in arcuate two kind of structures. Okay, two kinds of structures we will be studying, will be covered. Okay, please open up your book, that's there in your book. Okay, first one was, see here you can see such kind of wooden slabs they were using for making shape like this. Okay, and in arcuate a transformation took place. Okay, a technological transformation, or you can say they start using other materials for building such kind of things. So what they wanted, they start building the arcs. Okay, here you can say यहाँ भी shape arc की ही है, but what they are using the slabs. Okay, but here what they start doing, again the same structure they followed. Okay, but what happened, such kind of stones, in this way they start making the, okay, yes, okay, so in this way they start making the arcs. So the middle one, this one, the middle one, okay, this one was known as the keystone. Okay, this one was known as the keystone. So you can say here also they are making the arc, but they have not used such wooden slabs for making this arc. So a change took place. Okay, the change in the construction took place. So in this way Trapeze or corbelled was different from the arcuate style. Please open up a book. I am reading that arcuate one paragraph. Okay, see page number 63. Two technological and stylistic developments are noticeable from the 12th century. Okay, so this arcuate style started from 12th century. Okay, the weight of the superstructure above the doors and windows was sometimes carried by arcs. This architectural form was called arcuate. Okay, here also they are forming the arc, but they put their minds, they put their skills, knowledge, and transform this kind of arc into this. Limestone cement was increasingly used in construction. This was very high quality cement which when mixed with stone chips hardened into concrete. This made construction of large structures easier and faster. Even you can, if you want, you can see the image on page number 63 also. You will get to know the difference between these two designs, between these two constructions. So I hope this is very clear that under engineering skills and construction, two types of construction were taking place, Trapeze or corbelled and arcuate. From the beginning they were using such kind of structures, but when transformation took place they transformed this structure into arcuate one. Okay, so now starting with the second topic, building temples, mosques and tanks. This and this you might be getting it why they were building, but you must be wondering why tanks were included. I will tell you why tanks were included. So if we talk about building temples and mosques, see temples and mosques, these were the religious places. Okay, these were the religious places. And why kings were building the religious places? Why kings were building? To show their devotion, to show their devotion towards God. Okay, this, and the main reason was, what was the main reason? To show their wealth. Okay, to show their wealth, to show their power, they were building the temples and mosques. Okay, so this is the only reason why rulers were building their temples and mosques. What they were doing? They were investing their wealth, they were investing a huge amount of wealth in their temples, and they considered, they have said that the temples were the miniature model of the world ruled by the king. Like for example, they have made temple in such a way that denotes, that shows how they were ruling in their kingdom. Okay, उन लोगों ने temples को इस तरीके से बनाया which was showing that how rulers were ruling in their kingdoms. Okay, so I hope till here it is very clear why they were building the temples and mosques. Now see, when we talk about temples and mosques, see, from the name itself you will get to know that temples were built by the rulers who were Hindu, okay, and mosques were built by the rulers who were Muslims. Okay, so see, when we talk about the temples, what kings were saying? Okay, kings were saying, why kings built the temples? Because they wanted that everyone in the kingdom, okay, everyone in the kingdom should follow, everyone in the kingdom should follow his decisions and consider him as God. See, the kings who were building the temples, through temples they were just wanted to show, they made the people in the kingdom realize that how they are worshipping the God in the temple. Like that only those people, those the subordinates, okay, should also follow, should also worship the king. King wanted to show that there is one God in the temple, in the same way in the whole kingdom I am the only one, you all should follow my decisions and you all should consider me as God. Okay, this was about the kings who were building the temples. Now when we talk about the mosques, see, temples were built by the kings, okay, and when we talk about the mosque, sultans were there, okay, sultans were there. Now see the difference, what sultans were saying: we are not God, okay, we are not God, neither we are the incarnations of God, ना ही हम भगवान है, ना ही हम भगवान जैसे हैं. Okay, see, sultans are saying we are not the God, but the people, okay, but the people in their kingdom, considered them as the shadow of the God, okay, but the people considered them as the shadow of the God. They used to say that the God has sent him as the ruler, as a sultan, to rule over us and to tell us about the right and wrong paths. See, you can see the difference. When we are talking about the temples, what kings were doing? Kings wanted everyone to consider them as the God. Forcibly they want the people to worship him as the God. But in the same way, when we are talking about the mosque, sultans were there, but sultans when people were worshipping him, when people were worshipping the Sultan, what he used to say, I am not the God and don't consider me as the God. Okay, God is only one. But what people used to say, you are the God only. God has sent to you for keeping us safe, okay, for guiding us. So in this way, building temples and mosques were different from each other, but the criteria was only one, but the motive was only one, why they were building temples and mosques, to show their wealth, to show their devotion towards the God, and to show their power. They were building the temples and mosques. Okay, now when we talk about the tanks, see, tanks, like in the earlier time, water was considered as the पॉजिटिव थिंग्स, और लाइक जैसे हम आज भी बोलते हैं, लाइक व्हेन वी गिव समवन वाटर टू ड्रिंक, बोलते हैं ना पुण्य का काम. सो इन द सेम वे इन द प्रीवियस टाइम ऑल्सो वाटर वॉज कंसिडर्ड एज द मोस्ट ब्लेसफुल थिंग, और यू कैन से when water was there, when someone used to talk about the water, it was considered as a very positive thing. So what rulers did, rulers started building large water reservoirs. Okay, उन लोगों ने large water tanks बनाना start कर दिया. Okay, so when we talk about tanks, Sultan Iltutmish was the first one who built a largest reservoir. Why he built the largest reservoir? Water reservoir, for getting the universal respect. Okay, for getting the universal respect. Okay, so tanks, Sultan Iltutmish made largest water reservoir. Okay, and why he built? Because it was considered as a very positive thing. See, if a ruler wanted to show himself very wealthy and very like he is having plenty of goodness, plenty of wealth, then he has to build the water tanks. In the previous time it was considered like this. So if you see in today's generation also, if you visit Gurudwara, okay, Golden Temple, if you visit, you can see the water reservoirs. Okay, water tanks are there. Okay, even if you visit Gurudwara in Badgaon, in Agamgarh, okay, here also when you enter in the, there also water is there, and when you move inside, there also a water reservoir is there. So people used to consider it as a very blissful and as a very positive thing whenever king used to build water reservoirs near the temples. Okay, so in this way they built temples, mosques and tanks. This was the only reason why kings were building the temples, mosques and tanks. Now before starting the next topic, let's write internal questions. Open page number 60. Open up page number 60 and write down internal question number 1. Qutub Minar was constructed by which ruler? Internal question number 1 on page number 60 you have to write Qutub Minar was constructed by which ruler? Okay, and you will find the answer in the second line, page number 60, first paragraph, second line. Qutbuddin Aibak. Answer is Qutbuddin Aibak. Marked. Now mark one more internal question on page number 65. Page number 65, one more internal question. Have you opened it? Yes. Question number 2. Which ruler won universal respect? Which ruler won universal respect for construction of large reservoir outside, for construction of large reservoir outside Delhi-e-Kunha? For construction of large reservoir outside Delhi-e-Kunha. Answer is Sultan Iltutmish. Page number 65, second paragraph, 8th line. 65, page number 65, second paragraph, 8th line. Sultan Iltutmish won universal respect for constructing large reservoir just outside Delhi, a Kunha. Marked, okay. So 2 questions I have made you mark. Next question we will be marking it after completing the third topic, that is why were temples targeted. Yes. Now why were temples targeted and destroyed? See, when we talk about temples, it shows the wealth, and it shows the wealth and power of a king. Okay, so why kings were building the temples? To show their wealth and power. Now let me give you one example. In 9th century, Pandyan king, that was Srimara Srivallabha. Okay, Pandyan king was there, Srimara Srivallabha. He invaded Sri Lanka. Okay, he captured Sri Lanka and defeated Sena I, the ruler there, the king there who was ruling. He defeated Sena I, and from his temple, the temple which was built by Sena I, okay, he took gold statue of Buddha. He captured gold statue of Buddha and took back towards his region and put this statue in his temple. Okay, so in this way, this is only just an example why were temples targeted. So temples were targeted just for capturing, just for seizing such kind of wealthy things from the temples of other rulers. Okay, so see, it was very known why kings were building the temples, to show their wealth. So what they were doing, they were putting all of their wealth in the temples. Okay, they were putting all their money, all their gold, bronze statues in the temples. Okay, so whenever the opposition king wanted to target that particular ruler, particular king, what he used to do? He used to target his temple. He used to attack on the temple, destroy the temple, and took such wealthy things, such wealthy statues from their temple and place it in their own temple. So in the same way, in 9th century, Pandyan king, he defeated Sena I of Sri Lanka and took gold statue of Buddha from there and placed it in his own temple. Okay, in the same way, you all must have listened about the Somnath temple. Okay, so Somnath temple was captured by whom? Yes, who looted the Somnath temple? Tell me. It's there in your book also. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. Okay. ये second example, Somnath temple. Okay, Somnath temple that was captured by Sultan Mahmud Ghazni. Okay, Sultan Mahmud Ghazni. Okay, or Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. Okay, what he did? He took the door of that particular temple because it was made of gold in that time. Okay, and few statues also he took from the Somnath temple. So what kings used to do? They never attack on the kingdom, the people of the kingdom. They never attacked on them. Just they attacked on the temple, looted all the wealth, and moved back to their own places. Okay. Third example, Rajendra I. Okay, built Shiva temple in his empire. When he started ruling, he built Shiva temple and filled it with prized statues. Okay, precious statues. A sun pedestal from Chalukyas. From where did he get this sun pedestal? He defeated Chalukyas and took their sun pedestal from their temple. A Ganesha statue and several statues of Durga, a Nandi statue. Okay, these also he took from the ruler to whom जिसको भी उसने defeat किया होगा. Then an image of Bhairava and Bhairavi from Kalingas of Odisha. See, you can see a sun pedestal, Ganesha statue. Such prized statues, precious statues, they were seizing, they were taking, they were looting from the others' temples. Okay, and one more, please write it down. This will be very helpful to you. A Kali statue from Palas of Bengal. Okay, the last one was a Kali statue from Palas of Bengal. Okay, a Kali statue from Palas of Bengal. So in this way temples were targeted. So I hope it is very clear to you why were temples targeted and how they were looting the wealth from the other kings' temples. Okay, so this was the only reasons why temples were targeted. Now write down one more question, one internal question. Question number 3 on page number 66. Question number 3 on page number 66. Who looted the Somnath temple? Who looted the Somnath temple? Page number 66. Who looted the Somnath temple? You will find the answer in the third paragraph. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. Marked? Yes. So starting with the next topic, that is gardens, tombs and forts. So when we talk about gardens, tombs and forts, see, whenever the ruler visit the empire, visit the kingdoms of other ruler, whatever unique or whatever some different kind of structure he used to see, he used to copy that structure. But what happened? Under Mughals, architecture became more complex. Okay, under Mughals architecture became more complex. Why? See, Mughals believed in innovation. Okay, he was looking towards the different structures. He was putting his own ideas into that structures and he was making different designs, different structures. Okay, like for example, when we talk about gardens, okay, when we talk about gardens, Babur was interested in the idea of Char Bagh. Okay, Babur was interested in the idea of the Char Bagh. Okay, so what was Char Bagh? Babur was interested in the idea of Char Bagh. Now what was Char Bagh? See, such square garden was there. In this, in such a way they used to make the garden. This was the artificial water channels. Okay, this was the artificial water channels. This is also the artificial water channel, and here gardens were there, whatever they wanted to plant. So this was the structure of Char Bagh. And who was interested, who took out this method, this idea of constructing Char Bagh? Babur took out the idea of construction of this Char Bagh. Okay. Now, if we talk about the tombs, you have heard about the Humayun's tomb. Have you heard about the Humayun's tomb? It's given in your book also. Okay. So Humayun's tomb was very famous at those times. Okay. And in today's generation also. So Mughals copied that tomb also. Mughals copied that Humayun's tomb also. Okay. So in this way they were copying the different ideas of different rulers and making different transformations. Okay. And forts, see, whenever they used to visit some other kingdom, they used to see that fort of that particular king. They came back, they put their ideas, they put their innovations and transform it in a more innovative way. So in this way rulers were interested in making gardens, tombs and forts in a very innovative way. But in the Mughals period, in the Mughals time, when Mughals were ruling, this architecture style became more complex. Char Bagh came, then Humayun's tomb got famous. In that way only different dome shaped temples, different tombs tombs were made by the different rulers. Okay, and forts, palaces also, they cheated the idea of some other ruler, put their own ideas, and with the more innovations they started making their own gardens, their own tombs and own forts. Okay children. Yes, when we talk about the tomb, okay, gardens I have explained you about the Charbagh. When we talk about the tombs, tomb of Timur was copied by Akbar in making Humayun's tomb, and this Humayun's tomb got very famous in those time. Okay, so Akbar copied the tomb of Timur, transformed it and made Humayun's tomb. In the same way, Shah Jahan adapted riverfront garden in the layout of Taj Mahal. Okay, somewhere he might have seen that particular idea, he put his own ideas, his own skills and transform it in the same way. As you all must have visited Taj Mahal, so riverfront garden is there. So Shah Jahan adapted riverfront garden in the layout of the Taj Mahal. Okay children, so starting with the next topic, that is regions and empire. Regions and empire. Yes, till now what we have studied about the engineering skills and construction. Okay, two types of things we have studied, two types of structures we have studied, Trebet and Corbel. Then building temple, mosque and tanks, why they were building, why the kings were building the temples, mosque and tanks. Why were temples targeted? Explained. Okay, the kings used to loot the wealth from the temples of the other kings. Then garden, tombs and forts, they were cheating, they were taking the ideas from the other rulers and putting those ideas in their own empire. When they were building the gardens and forts for themselves, they were putting those ideas and constructing it. Now the last topic is region and empire. Now let's see what is there in this topic, region and empire. So last topic, regions and empires. So construction activity, sharing ideas across regions. See, construction activity, just now in the previous topic we have studied that how the kings were taking the ideas from the other kingdoms and including it in their own architecture. So sharing ideas across regions yani like the ideas which were used in those times, in Mughals time, are used in present generation also. Okay, if we talk about the temple in the Vrindavan, okay, if we talk about the temple in the Vrindavan, different architectural style has been taken from the Mughals period. See, in Vrindavan near Mathura, temples were constructed in architectural style that were very similar to the Mughal palaces in Fatehpur Sikri. Okay, so these Mughal architectural styles got so much famous that even in the, if someone wants to build something innovative or something ancient, they used to copy those architectural style. Okay, and in the same way Mughals liked Bangla Dome. Mughals liked Bangla Dome so much that they included it in their architecture. Okay, so Mughals liked Bangla Dome so much that they included it in their architecture. Okay children, so in this way only regions and empire, Mughals were always interested in making big large empires. Okay, so in building those empires, large empires, they used to take ideas from some other kingdoms, from other regions. They used to travel to other different regions, take ideas from there, and they used to include those architectural ideas in their own empires. So this was all about regions and empires, that how kings used to move different regions and take ideas from different regions and include it in their own empires. Okay, so children, this was all about your topics. I hope each and every topic is very clear to you. We have completed our chapter at this topic, regions and empire. Please go through the chapter once again, go through the video lecture once again. If you are having any doubt, you can discuss it in the live session. Okay children, so that's all for today. Thank you.